Now, the 13th chapter of Srimad Bhagavad Gita begins. And Arjun says, "O Krishna, I wish to know about Prakriti and Purush, the field of activity, the knower of that field, knowledge, and that which is to be known." A very pointed, sharp question. I want to know about Purush and Prakriti, knowledge, knowable, the field of knowledge, the activity of knowledge. Tell me about it. Prakriti is material nature. Prakriti is material nature. All, you see, soil and trees and oceans and seas and rivers and mountains. So the material nature is Prakriti, and Purush is all living beings, Jeev. As far as I could understand, Purush is for living entities and Prakriti is for material nature. Understanding Prakriti and Purush is knowledge. Understanding the material nature and understanding the living beings is knowledge. Knowing and understanding emotions, human traits, perception, understanding, discretion. Lord Krishna is very particular about discretion, thoughtfulness, and steadfastness. Knowing all this is knowledge. What is knowledge? Knowledge is knowing human emotions, human traits, perception, modes of perception, understanding, discretion, how one is thoughtful, the thoughtfulness of a person, and steadfastness. That is knowledge. And contrary to all this is ignorance. Lord Krishna tells ignorance also. Not knowing human psychology is ignorance. Not knowing the interplay between Prakriti and Purush, the material nature and living beings, not knowing that interplay is ignorance. और जानना क्या है? What is the goal? What we have to know? The ultimate element. Finally, we have to know the nectar of immortality. That is to be searched. That is the goal of all knowledge. What is to be known? God. That is the aim. Endless, beginningless, beyond cause and effect. This force, this consciousness exists everywhere. It pervades everything. Ultimately, all material nature, all living beings are lifeless without this force. सीन के पीछे जैसे स्पंदन, the force, जो जान है, the force in all things is the supreme force, the divine force. 13.15 is a beautiful shlok. Sarve indriya gunabhasam, sarve indriya vivarjitam, asaktam sarvabhuchaiv nirgunam, gunbhoktarcha. He is the source of all senses. He is the source of all senses, though he is free from all senses. He is unattached, yet he supports all beings. He is the master of sensory modes. He is the master of sensory modes, though he is above all sensory modes. He transcends all sensory modes. This is such an intellectual chapter. The whole chapter is devoted to describing the nature of God. the nature of the Supreme Being. How the Supreme Being functions, how the Supreme Being feels. What is the feel of God? What is the presence of God? What is the modus operandi? It is a highly intellectual chapter. It is devoted to describing the divine force. सो वो जो शक्ति है जिसको भगवान कहते हैं वो कैसी है, बार बार उदाहरणों के साथ वो बताया है. मूविंग इमूवेबल, कैसी है वो शक्ति जिसको हम भगवान कहते हैं. मूविंग इमूवेबल, सटल, सेंसरी, inside as well as outside humans, divided among all beings yet undivided, creator as well as destroyer, source of light and beyond darkness, knowledge, knowable and the goal of all knowledge, residing in every heart. यानी जो कुछ भी है सब कुछ वही है. जो हम सोच सकते हैं और जो हम नहीं सोच सकते हैं सब कुछ वही है. Everything emanates from a single source. Soul is not entangled in the body. Although it pervades, although the super soul pervades bodies, it pervades all material nature, yet is not entangled into it. Basic nature is defined by the three gunas. It has been going on in all chapters, tamas, rajas and sattvic. The three gunas lead to good and evil. Tamas, evil; rajas, exploitative, consumption, the phase of consumption you can say, rajas. And sattvic is good, noble. And one must observe the play of gunas in oneself. We should be able to observe our own gunas, the three gunas, and the interplay. We should also observe the interplay between Prakriti and Purush. Nature और जीव का जो संबंध है, all environmental sciences you can say, one must observe the interplay between living beings and the material nature. Renunciation, meditation and study, पढ़ाई. These are the methods to cherish and practice. Just being in noble company and noble words gives us the right path, leads us to the right path. Lord Krishna has underlined the importance of noble company, good company. इसके पहले भी उन्होंने कहा था कि मूर्खों के चक्कर में पड़ना नहीं. We have to be in noble company, good company. No company is better than bad company. And good words. The one who sees a divine force everywhere achieves that divinity. जिसको ईश्वर हर चीज में दिखते हैं उनको वो मिल भी जाते हैं. One achieves divinity, one achieves God, one gets to become one with the divine force if one observes that divine force everywhere. So this is it. The whole chapter is devoted to the understanding of God, the functioning of God. Lord Krishna has described in detail the various methods and methodology of the Supreme Being, God. So this is it, and we will continue. Thank you. Thank you so much.